Hey, welcome back. You can always tell when we're doing a bunch of Peak Monsters releases. I do a bunch of videos, and we're back with a quicker thing. In the last episode, there was something I was like, "Oh, we really need this to be more efficient." It was a new filter, and the new filter's there. It's now canceled versus not canceled, which you need to load the rent data to be able to see that. So first of all, I'm just going to check all the cards. I have 38. I was able to combine a crazy ton of cards because you can see 518,000 BCX because I bought like 100, I don't know, 60,000 BCX of or more recently of reward cards, and the prices have since gone up. I guess people have gotten aware of the good deals, maybe from my video. So that's all right. I don't mind telling you guys about the good deals and have you guys jump in and I had my fun, I suppose. All right, so we're going to just check at rent status. I've got the ARPA, which is the auto rental pricing adjuster. It adjusts the prices. And presently I have I have it set to check like every 12 hours. And if my prices are, let's say, half of what the going 80th percentile is, so that would probably mean if I clicked here, this kind of -2, sorry, it'd be the other direction. It'd be this. So if the normal price is 2.6 and I'm renting it out for 0.2, then it auto adjusts and it cancels those. Now, this was a recent change by, this isn't a recent change. If you have as many cards as me, you have to hit the load rental. So therefore, it will say it has been canceled. Um, and the new price has been set, but to much higher. So it's going to like double. In this case, it's going to quadruple. And it looks like the prices keep going higher and higher. So when it did this change of price, it went up to a certain amount, and I could probably actually go in here and let's check. This is partly me checking to see um, what's going on here. I'm just going to take all of these. Let's see what it's changing the price to 0.5. Um, uh, let's take a bunch of them. All these astronomers. I think this is probably just a momentary like spike where the market is a little bit insane. Like it needs some more sanity. It used to be zero point 0.2 and now it's jumped up to 2.6 and now I'm jumping in. But so here's what happened. When I when it checked this probably like 20 hours ago or something to that effect, the 80th percentile was at 0.549. It has since gone up to 2.6. So you could always jump in here. So the auto rental, you can do whatever you want on rentals, okay? Like honestly, jump in here, do anything you want on the rentals. It's just going to go in and check and keep things. It's going to do some stuff, but if you ever do stuff, that's fine. It's not going to throw off the auto rental system, okay? So we're going to go from 59. And now let's try the 80th percentile. So I could go in here and change it to 2.9. This is, I'm testing this out. Okay, so it's done 3 batches of configurations. Now what we're wanting to check to see, and this is partly me doing testing, if the new price is now going to be the 2 point whatever, 2 point something. Let us check. And the little green refresh should give us a big indication. Oh, look at this. These guys are jumping in prices too. Now let's check. I got to do upload or set the new data there. New price 2.69. There you go. So any point you can come in here and look at the canceled, and I could filter just by the canceled. And it really is quite fine. I mean, I could take all of these. I could take every single one of these. 1700 is a lot, and I can change price on them. Now we're doing huge 1700. It's going to take a lot of time, and you're going to need this scroll down menu. So this is actually quite cool. So these are the old prices, 5,000 here. I can make it, since there looks like there is a spike right now happening, and when I repriced, like it's obviously repricing and going up, but we could, oh, there are 3 invalid prices. So you're going to have to figure that out first. So you're either going to have to click on them one by one and change the pricing, or just delete all 3. And then they'll just stay where they were before. Nothing bad is happening. I'm just not dealing with them now because I got 1,700 other cards to deal with. So I went from 5 to 13. So doing this, even though you've got the auto rental adjuster running in the background, look at, and it's going to just do all of these transactions. Now, when the auto rental system, the pricing adjuster is doing stuff, it's taking care of the RC. With these, I don't know, 17 transactions, very large transactions, I'm doing the RC. So, and that's fine. Okay, so now what we want to do is look at the not canceled. But the not canceled, I think, includes, yep, they're all the rented cards. So it's kind of a way of clicking the delegated. All right, so let's refresh the data. And I have recently changed. See, look, this wasn't showing up here earlier. These are, oh, we got to click on this. Okay, so it filtered those out. Perfect. Because um, those are canceled and repriced. We're good to go. So you, it doesn't matter if you do manual things with your rentals when you're using the pricing adjuster. And having this rental status thing is actually really cool for me to do a few different things. Like I can jump in here and do some repricings myself because I've got it set to anything is going to be repriced over the 2, but I've got it set to every 12 hours is when it checks. It looks like there's a recent spike in rentals. I can just go in here and do it myself manually. So, and that means I could cancel all of these that are just having a huge spike at the moment. Huge spike. Do I really want to try that? That's the question. Oh gosh. Versus the 80th percentile. I was looking at the low. Versus the 80th percentile, it doesn't look like things are quite as bad. There's only a few cards. Oh, these are the ones that I'm renting. So we need to make sure I click on owned. Boom. All right. So these are all the ones that haven't been repriced yet. A lot of level 1 cards. I could actually just look at, like, are level 1s still going to be priced that high when I get around to when this one day is up? That's the question. I doubt they will. Just really doubt they will. Like, So I may just skip that. And one thing I want to do, maybe it's just avoid all of the level ones. So I'm going to do uh, greater or equal. Boom. And all of these, oh, there's only a few. There's only a few. Um, but I'm going to just start repricing them. I'm going to go down a little bit further to like, I actually changed it from 50% on the ARPA settings to like 40 something percent. So it's a little bit more aggressive. So, all right, we are going to change price on these ourselves, which is, I just am testing and showing that these are all things you can do if you are using the auto rental system. By the way, the auto rental pricing adjuster from peakmonsters is in early access. We've got like a list of 5 or 6 things we want to do before we release it to the public. It will not require premium when it's released to the public, but if you have a lot of cards, it would be silly to not have premium. I'm just going to say that because there's going to be huge benefits if you have premium. Um, but it will be, you'll be able to do X amount of repricings each month for free. And then you can buy more repricings kind of in bulk. Or use premium and get a ton as well. All right. So here we go. I actually want to scroll down to the bottom. 2000 TEC. Okay. Now what if I hit 80th right now? 4,000. So I'd be doubling. What if I hit set to the lowest market price? 4,300. That's actually quite interesting. Except that it's going to lower the price on some of these. And so it's just all over the place. That's interesting. So, I mean, there's another thing you can do as well. And maybe this is something you could do on your highest priced cards, is kind of go over them manually, just like this. Oh, yeah. So one thing is I'm going to set it to 80th. And then I'm just showing you all the options. For me, I'm just going to set it to the ARPA 80th percentile. Reprice them if they drop too low. But that the market changes. And if the market just blasts off, then I want to reprice them. So I have a pretty lenient repricing strategy, meaning people get to keep renting the cards even if prices go up because maybe they're just a temporary spike, like a 1 day, 2 day spike, and then they're just going to go right back down. All right, so this one has no price because I don't have anything here. I'm going to set it to lowest. And then this is one thing that you can try out. I'm going to set it to lowest. It's fine. I'm going to set this to lowest. You get good at finding that lowest. I'm not going to compete against that one I'm not going to try to get that lowest. I actually might just click real fast through these and see if low market is ever above the your price. You see what I'm doing? There you go. There's one. There's another one. This is kind of a fast way to interact manually. And then you don't have to do this every day because the auto rental system is doing things for you, of course. Oh, this is the one I already did. The market. There we go. I like hitting the minus next to it instead of the plus because I want to be just barely under. Actually, if I took the time, this is another one I do. I don't want to be just barely above. It looks like someone is already doing the 80th percentile minus a tiny bit. So we're going to go down just a little bit more. So maybe what I'm looking for is if the low market is above that or just slightly below it. because then I could be willing to beat it. So now, if you are thinking I want to just have the best possible prices ever, this is a potential strategy. Oh, look at this one. So 80th percentile right now is at 0.5. By the way, this is 80th percentile of the last 24 hours. You can also do over the last 48 hours. Boom. Again, this is all complex stuff. You do not have to do this. You can just set the ARPA settings, let it ride. But this is kind of a fun little thing. And hitting this next is not too hard to do. So we're getting this number up, creeping up a little bit more at a time. Oh, we're good on that one. I could get 3 or 4 more DEC there and still be the lowest. That seems odd. This one is one you want to watch out for, the Cornelius. Look, no one in the last 24 hours has rented above 249. The 80th percentile is 199.48. I mean, you could go just a little bit below the max. That's an option. I'm going to try that. That's fine. And the same thing, if the low mark is above the max, I'd stick with the max. Um, I want to be a little bit lower. This one's rough. Um, I mean, the max they've gone up to is 29, so maybe I'll just stay there. I could go up a little bit. So whenever max is below, is underneath low market, maybe I just want to go with below the max. Got a few more on that one. Those aren't so great. Let's see. Max, low market. Let's do that. These are good. Repetition here. You're seeing the same action quite a few times, I guess. Let's go underneath the max. You know what this means? When it's like this, when the 80th percentile is right around the max, it probably just means there's not many of these being rented. And the low market being, yeah, it's just part of how those sorts of things work. That is an older card at a non-common level, so that's probably makes sense there. All right, price is above the max, so let's go a little bit below, a little bit below, a bit below. X. Low market, so things may start looking up, I guess, but let's not test it. Um, our price is at the max. We could just be a little bit below the low market. I'll be fine. Let's go a little bit below the max. And one of these things we could do is just make sure we're working on just the highest amount cards. Let's go a little bit there. It's looking good. See, 33 is the low market, but no one has spent that amount in the last 24 hours. So why would I try to go above the max? Not sure. I mean, obviously the next one uh could be fine. Like maybe they're going to jump up to 30 because sometimes the market is kind of not sane like that. They just go from 8 to 20. What was it? From What was the previous one? 8 to 33. Like they're willing to spend 4 times more on it when there's been a bunch of people getting them. I don't know how many, to be honest, because it doesn't say here. That's one of the things we would love to upgrade, is to say, we do have a page that says it, but we want to put it right here on the page. So let's low market. Let's try to beat the low market. Yeah, we're close enough to try to beat that. So it's kind of funny. Sometimes you want to be right under the max. Sometimes you want to be right under the 80th. Sometimes you want to be right under the low market. In this case, right under the max. That's where I want to be. Yeah, this looks good. Oh, look at this one. This is a great example. We could go up to the low market, but let's just go right below the max. Looks like this one's on its way up. The 80th percentile is 102, but now the low market's 143, and the max that has been done in the last 24 hours is 149. It may be on its way up. I don't know where we're at. Oh, we're right here. That's not bad. Nice. Let's go to max. Oops. Mhm. What's happening here when you get these reward cards, which is a lava lump monster, is that there's so many thousands and thousands of them. So these low market costs may jump in, and they're just temporary people that have probably just going off of old ideas, old prices and stuff. The reality is, I should be able to get something a little bit more like 2.6. Hopefully, or the prices have gone down recently. That's a possibility. Price is very close here to the low market. When you have the 25th, 33rd, 50th, 60th, 80th, all so similar in pricing, that means there's just not many of these cards listed or being rented in the last 24 hours. So, all right, I'm done here. The reality is, with all that work, I only increased the DEC by just a little. So, I don't know. I guess it's like 50 cents a day possibility. But was that really worth my time? This is a good example. Probably wasn't. Just let ARPA, the repricing system, do its thing, and you can spend your time playing the game, doing something like that. So, seems like it's doing a good job, to be honest. It looks like there was a spike in pricing, so we're going to refresh. I can't believe I have over 500,000 BCX of cards. I did not know that. 518,000. Wow. All right. It looks like rentals is on its way up. That's a pretty good percentage of cards being rented out. 61 out of 61.6 out of 68.6. That's pretty decent. My actual question here is, I have listed 20,200 and 15,900. So that's interesting. How many haven't been rented out recently? Let's check. 4,000 of my 20,000, but it only represents 10%. So I'm renting out Let's see. That's like 25% of my cards aren't being rented out, but only 10% of my potential value is missing. So that's another third thing you could come in here and manually do. I have it set to check every 24 hours on the ARPA and for it to compete against the the 50th percentile. One other thing I could do is let's check all the alpha, beta, promo. So I'm gonna guess it's mostly of those 4,000. It's mostly reward cards, 3,000 of them. So that is the possibility. Is got some level 1 cards in here too. Level 1 reward cards are 987 of them. They're just not getting rented. Let's see. How many of them are? Shouldn't be any commons. I have common reward cards in here. It's interesting. All right, so I could take them. Let's do common modern. Okay, so not many common moderns. Let's do rare moderns at level 1. Yeah, why in the world do I have 336 of these? We rent it out. So we're going to select all these. Stop trying to get these rented, not the level 1 cards. That doesn't seem like a good use of my repricings. All right. And there was no one of these. I should check number level 2. Just don't think that these are going to get rented out either. Well, maybe these nightmares. I don't know. Doesn't seem like it's worth it. So we're just going to select them all and stop renting them. Perfect. What level 3s do I have? And Modern and Chaos Legion, so we'll see just the newest stuff. All priced at 0.1. All priced at 0.1. Just not getting rented. Look at that. There's so many of them. Almost 1,200 of those cards. I want to check something. Let's go to change price. And let's set to the lowest market price. I guess we could try get these all rented out a little bit at 0.1. Why not? I don't even know if they're worth doing. There is going to be something that we are going to do for the repricing system, and that is to have an exclusionary set. So I could add these all to one big set and say, hey, look, don't try to reprice these. I doubt the price will ever go up, or it won't anytime soon. And if it does, then I'll take a look. All right. Anyways, it's just like lots of random things I could try out, but I am getting a pretty good revenue on them. There are a lot of reward cards that are not being rented out, and that's fine. Okay, that's all I got for you today.